Greetings, everyone. Welcome back to another live edition of Wedding Photography Live with me, Jon. How's everybody doing? I'm Jon Low, a Malaysian-based wedding and portrait photographer specializing in capturing the magic of your special day. Now, join me weekly for live discussion on all aspects of wedding photography. Whether you are seeking a photographer or have any questions at all, this is the perfect place for you. Now, live viewers can participate in the chat, while those watching the replay can leave comments for answers in future shows. How about that? So if you guys are hearing me all right, I guess you are. Yeah, so there you go. How are you guys doing? Another week, another month in October. Wake me up when September ends, but we are almost getting into the mid of September already. So that's kind of crazy. How come I'm not hearing music on my side? I'm not sure. Give me a second. I should be able to hear music from my side. I'm not sure why I can't. It feels like my Rodecaster Pro is acting up. Let me just reboot my Rodecaster for a while. There you go. Okay, I'm back. And this time, I think you should be able to hear me all right. I can hear the music at the background. Well, so what happened is, maybe because I've updated the firmware on the Rodecaster Pro is acting up. I don't know. Technologies, and I'm one man handling the whole entire pilot of this live segment. Let me know if, let's say, you guys can hear me all right. I should be able to monitor you by your comments if you are watching this. Yeah. So, let's get started. Here's an unpopular opinion. We are not tasked to photograph with your iPhone during a wedding. If you're a guest, you walk up to me, you pass me your phone and take photograph of you. We are not tasked to photograph with your iPhone. Now, if you think we should photograph you with your phone, well, you're entitled to feel that so, but we are not obligated to do it. There, I've said it. You won't like it. That's why it is an unpopular opinion. But if you ask nicely, we would. Photographers, we would. And to be honest, we don't want to turn people down, and it's a wedding and we want everyone to be happy, so we oblige. But since we are here, let me be clear, we are hired by the couple to photograph their wedding photographs. Every photo that we take with your phone is us not photographing the couple. and especially group photos, it's rather insulting to be handed many phones to the photographer. And to top that off, after the photo is taken, you may linger around, conversation between the group continues, and there's no urgency in getting back the phone. What am I going to do with the phone? Now, one thing that we photographers secretly celebrated was when during the pandemic, everyone was much more anxious about things that they touch, hence passing on the phones to photographer was not a thing. Now, think about it. If I was going around touching all the phones of every single guest who asked me to take their photographs, by the time you pass me your phone, COVID ABCD, whatever strain will be there. You know what I'm saying? And then, what if I accidentally drop your phone and your screen breaks? Pecah. How? So I reckon, if you need a photo taken by us, ask nicely and let us all be courteous. I can take a photo with your phone for sure. If it's a group photo, airdrop it or WhatsApp to the same shot to your friends. Don't pass us multiple phones. And if you are to continue your conversation and don't get back your phones, well, you'll see 100, 1,000 photos taken of our selfies after that. So deal? Well, after said and done, if you're still considering to hire me as a wedding photographer after that unpopular opinion, then simply scan the QR code to access my contact page. Share your plans and dates and let us start a conversation about your wedding. Recently, I even secured a proposal photo shoot through email correspondence just like this, so don't hesitate to reach out. Alright, so that's the monologue for this week's broadcast, and there you go. Okay, this week's live will be short because, I did prepare a portfolio to showcase with you all, and I think this is gonna be quite nice to check out, especially if you're looking to plan a pre-wedding that's not here in Malaysia. Alright, I prepared for you guys this particular portfolio that I have, that I shot a couple of years back when I was in Japan, of Stephanie and Sam. Right, we were in Japan, and what happened was that this couple, they are from Hong Kong. They found me through word of mouth from a friend, and they decided to hire us to actually meet them in Japan. So they're flying in from Hong Kong, and I'm flying in from KL together with my makeup artist, which is NG Makeup and Hair. Right, so this portfolio is collaboration with me and Angie, and we were in Japan taking Stephanie and Sam's pre-wedding. Okay, so we met in Tokyo, and it's gonna be, we were hanging out for a good at least 3 days, or 3 to 4 days, I can't remember. And we traveled around Japan. Not only in Tokyo, we went to the small provinces like a place called Kurazawa, and then we were at Tateyama, if I remember correctly, and then we were at the Tateyama Kurobe Alpine, which is a snow mountain. And today we are just going to go through the portfolio to sort of like showcase some of Stephanie and Sam's pre-wedding photos that I've captured. Right, so we usually greet our couples, and we do a very casual kind of shoot where they dress down as though the thing is that we are traveling together, right? Think about this kind of photo shoot where you have a professional photographer and a makeup artist that goes out together with you, getting these photos done, right? And it's like it almost feels like to you guys in a way a superstar. Because it would be weird, everybody would be like wondering, how come these two fellas, there's a photographer that's photographing them all the time. Kind of nice, isn't it? I want to just say hello to Adrian. Adrian, welcome to the stream. Thank you for showing up and say hi. So yeah, Stephanie and Sam. So we started off easy. We started off like taking photos when we were just moving around. So here are some photos of I guess this is Shinjuku Station. I never thought of it. Now that I'm looking at the signboard, it says Shinjuku. So this gotta be at Shinjuku. For the life of me, again, I cannot remember what happened prior to this. So we possibly met up at the hotel, and then after that, we walk out and take the train out together and hang out. All right. So we were like meeting for the very first time, really. I think. No. Okay, maybe not the first time. I think the day before we actually met up for dinner first, before we actually planned for the first day out taking photos like this. Right. Now, Japan has one of these mood, when you're there, somehow that the street photography vibe around that area encourages photos to look really nice in black and white, and I've got plenty of black and white that we produce for them. All right, so these are travel photos while we were just hanging around, walking around, taking photos, having reasons to just walk out and play. Believe it or not, the Roadcaster failed me again. I'm not sure whether you guys can still hear me. Give me a second. I'm just gonna reboot my Roadcaster again. Okay, I'm back. So this is like the first time I went on a live session like this after I installed a new beta firmware on my Roadcaster, and it's failing me because I can hear music now. After like that 5 minutes of talking to you guys, the music cuts off, and I'm not even confident whether or not the microphone is going through. So yeah. Wan Ling, how are you? Thanks for dropping by. I hope all is good for you. Okay, we are going through some photos that we were sharing halfway. So let's get back to that. I'm still at the black and white one. Okay, so we were walking at the streets of Tokyo. I'm not quite sure which place is this, but we were just walking around, and these were the kind of photos that we shot when we were walking around together with a couple. All right. The important thing is that we are trying to capture the vibe of Tokyo. The colors, the poles, the telephone poles, the small streets like these, and essentially things like this. Sound check 1 2. Yeah. So my brother and my sister-in-law says hi in the stream. So yeah, this is the streets of Tokyo, like I say, and yeah, we capture this kind of photos in the sense of like we capture the essence of streets, so it's Tokyo, right? And then the iconic black cap that's in Tokyo itself. I guess that's nice. So we stage this kind of photos while we are doing photo shoot. So I've got Stephanie one side and then Sam on the other side, and then we captured that photo, and then both of them together, and essentially, yeah, that kind of vibe. So of course, Katie and YC, if let's say you're watching, if you have brought me to Tokyo, perhaps maybe these are the photos that I can be doing for you. But obviously not. We're not there. I think it has a kind of vibe that's really nice for photography. I think in Japan. It's very easy to capture this kind of photos. I guess it's also very easy to capture this kind of photos because we are out there walking around and exploring and taking like a holiday. I love this photo a lot. Like, this is a repeat of that photo that I showed recently, the magazine, every photo a magazine cover, where I took in Patricia, Melbourne. This is a Tokyo version of it. One Lin, thank you for commenting. I love the colors. I love them too. Thank you very much. So essentially, they brought some props to play around to get these photos. All these were taken in Tokyo, and we spent like half a day, and straight away after this particular photo shoot, what happened? We rented a car and we started to drive. I'm not sure where, but the idea is to go to this place called Kurazawa, which is, I think, about two hours away from Tokyo, right? And they wanted to be photographing in some of the nature area with greens and so on. And more importantly, they wanted to photograph at a church that they wanted to feature, but essentially they didn't allow us to photograph because of the bridal gowns, and also they didn't allow them if they are not getting married there, perhaps. So a lot of the shots that we take were like this, very greens and so on. It's actually on the way to a bigger location, essentially. So this we spent a day photographing around this province called Kurazawa, where it is all nature, and we get couple photos like that. Now, if you are from Malaysia, you feel like, hey, this is pretty normal here in Malaysia, where we have a lot of greens, we have a lot of rainforests around here. But I reckon where people come from, they may not have the same kind of access to this kind of forestation and greens and whatever not. So it's different for them. All right, so we were exploring. They were dressing in their wedding gowns that they brought together, and these were the photos that happened. You can't almost tell it's Japan, and it's summer, so it's all greens. I guess if it's autumn, you get a different kind of color. Over there, it's gonna be different, but it's summer, so it's everything green. And eventually we dressed down, we went to the town area, and we captured these photos around. So this is then after that we were on the way to Tateyama from these shoots, where we passed by all these outskirts. we saw the fields. We just go out and shot the sunsets photos. So it's beautiful sunset. So this is gotta be some time around 6 p.m. before we call it a day, and we continue our drive. We continue our drive all the way to Tateyama, and let me show you the main goal of the whole entire shoot from Tokyo, we went to Kurosawa. We spent a night in Kurosawa, and then the whole entire day we shoot the next day at Kurosawa. After shooting in Kurosawa, we continue our journey driving to Tateyama, and then we reach the following day to this iced mountain over at Tateyama. So it is an adventure, you know. So it's like we see new things when we were traveling. We capture new things when we are moving around. So it's kind of nice. No idea what you say, YC. So too bad. Let me just off that. All right. So we were all very excited when we saw the snowy mountain being out there. It wasn't very cold, so don't mind them like dressing down a little bit without any like cold jackets or whatever, because I was wearing a jacket and I was sweating while walking around, so it wasn't very cold. And these were some of the photos taken while up at the snow mountain. So all in all, we spent like 3-4 days photographing this portfolio. I think if I were to calculate correctly, day 1, wake up, shoot Tokyo, then drive to Kurosawa. Day 2, shoot Kurosawa, drive to Tateyama. Day 3, we went up to these mountains over here. So 3 days of photo shoots, and we got these photos. Was that the same photo that I featured? No, yeah, okay, there you go. And it's kind of amazing experience being there. All right, so that's that's the 3 days. I of course I picked some of the best photos that we captured that day. There were plenty more in the whole entire collection that we delivered to the couple. Right, eventually we made a wedding album, and then after that we were in Hong Kong actually shooting their wedding in Hong Kong a year after. It was pretty awesome. That was the experience of actually shooting in Japan. So if you are curious how a pre-wedding is done, this is one of the way where when you're traveling together with your photographer. You're doing whatever you're doing when you're traveling, checking things out, having a time of your life, eating and stuff like that. We document it, we compile it as your wedding album. We spend maybe like half a day or a day wearing your wedding gowns. If you want to have something formal of a wedding wear, we can select a place and we shoot it. We photograph it, so you have a good mixture of holiday photos, something very lifestyleish, and then you have the formal portraits of you in your wedding dresses and gowns and suit, so that you can have something to remember by. Yeah, essentially that's how a pre-wedding is done. So if you are planning a pre-wedding, and if you are interested in planning a destination pre-wedding like this, hit me up. The QR code is there. It will lead you to my contact page. There's WhatsApp over there. That's all my social, my YouTube and everything. You can see all these content that's on my YouTube channel, how we actually shoot weddings and all. So drop us a email and we can start talking. All right, it is as simple as that, guys. Well, I'll say thank you for joining me this 20 minutes or so when it comes to me showcasing my portfolio for some Sam and also Stephanie. All right, stay tuned. I do broadcast every week on Wednesday 9 p.m. I believe next week I won't be around. I'll be traveling for photos, so I won't be broadcasting on Wednesday. Maybe I'll delay it on a Thursday instead. All right, So if you want to be discussing about wedding photography, should tune in. Leave me some comments in this video. If you're watching playback, I will answer them. All right. So until the next episode of Wedding Photography Live with Jon Low, I see you guys. Thank you for watching. Or you can check out all my work over here. So we have this is portrait.com.my. Okay, so I do portraits. This is langkawiweddings.com, and this is jonlow.com. Or just go to my YouTube, if you know what I mean. Oh, there you go, gone. See you guys. Take care.